Hey, so Trelawny here, Groove Line Productions, and we have Miss Leslie from
Hi
Tonia's
there.
Special Events, and we are in her office. So thank you.
Of course, you're welcome.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Leslie.
Well, I am a mother of five. I have four grandkids. We're actually been in Georgetown since 2008. I like the community. I like being part of the Chamber of Commerce as well. I like how welcome the community is and how friendly everybody is, and I love doing business in Georgetown.
Georgetown is definitely a homey town.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is. Yes, it is.
I love the square. I love how the old structure, architecture is still kind of held, and all the new stuff has to fit in with it. So
Yes.
that kind of gives
I
us-
used to live in Round Rock, and I moved here from Puerto Rico in 1996, and I've been here since in Texas, and I love the state. I like how friendly everybody is, and I consider myself more Texan than Puerto Rican because I've been living here longer than my age in Puerto Rico. So I left
Okay.
there when I was young. So.
Well, tell us a little bit. What is Tonia's Special Events?
Well, Tonia Special Events, it was an idea and a dream I have for the longest time. I always wanted to do events. I always wanted to plan them and cater. My mom always inspired me to follow my dreams. And I was doing a regular job. I was working with the medical field. And yes, it was good money. Yes, I was happy with what I was doing, but I really have that empty in my heart, emptiness that, I wanted to be an event planner. And I figured the day I will do it, I'm going to name it after my mom. She passed away in 1997, and she was my inspiration. She was a hardworking woman, always working hard to achieve her dreams and accomplish herself. And I figured I wanted to be just like her. So one day I told my husband, I love doing this. I would love to do it. And he said, you know what? Just stop working for this company and start building your business. And that's what I did. I've been doing it for a long time so far. And I love the interactions with my clients. I love working, and I pretty much do everything. I do weddings, but I also do quinceañeras. I do baby showers, renewals, wedding anniversaries. And it's so exciting to work with new couples. It's also really exciting to work with people that's been married for a long time, and they get to renew their vows, and you see all that happiness and commitment to their relationship. So yeah, I love my job. I love what I do, and it was an idea that started, more like this is what I want to do when I get older, and then it became a reality for me, and I'm happy where I'm at right now.
That's amazing. All right, you do coordination.
And yes, ma'am.
Coordination or day of coordinator, or both?
I do both.
Okay.
I also do the planning. So if the bride doesn't want to be involved at all because she's working or too busy, I can take care of everything. I pretty much stay in touch with her the whole time. Any advice I can give her, any idea, pretty much just bring her everything to her, and she just tell me what to do. I take care of the whole planning from day one up to a year. I've done where they take a whole year to do the process, but it's actually easier for me that way because we just had to meet here and there and take care of stuff. So by the end of when the wedding gets here, then everything is done for so long that there's no stress for the bride, and she's more relaxed about the whole thing. I also do day off, and when I show up, I make sure it usually start 2 weeks prior the wedding. But pretty much I take care of everything. I show up, make sure that everything runs smoothly, get the timeline set up, contact the vendors, get everything in place so the bride and the groom don't have to worry about anybody asking them any questions or any payments. It's all taken care of by me.
See, to me that sounds stress-free.
Exactly. That's the whole
Sign me
idea.
up.
That is the whole idea. I also work with every budget, no matter how small it is. I know not everybody has a big budget to celebrate their big day, and I think that everybody needs that opportunity if they want to do it, even if it's something simple. At least try to do it. So I'll be there if it's small budget, large budget, whichever it is. I try to work with every client, and I also rent stuff, so it makes it easier because if I have the centerpieces and they rent them, they won't have to buy everything. So it's more like renting the centerpiece and be done with it. So I also rent tablecloths. I have runners, overlays, decor, signs. I mean, anything they need that makes it easier for them not to spend that much money on all those things and just rent them from me.
That's fabulous. You also do the creation for them. So if they give you a vision, you'll actually create the centerpieces. So it's not just that you're renting out or just providing, like, say, a linen service. You are actually creating and doing the decor for them if they hire you for that.
Yes, and usually if they tell me the colors, I try to meet with the client either at Hobby Lobby or one of the stores at like Party City, whatever they need, and try to show her different options. Also, we can meet with a florist. There's so many options for small budget. Like, everybody think that a florist has to be a big company, but not all the time people can afford it. And let's be real, flowers are expensive. And especially if you have a special request for a flower that is not seasonal, that you have to pay extra to get it from somewhere else. So I try to go with places that have a lower budget for it, and H-E-B is a good option. People don't think about H-E-B for florists, and they have really good packages, small packages for small weddings, beautiful arrangements, and people save money, but it makes it looks really simple and pretty. Even if it's a small budget, they still can afford it. Exactly. Absolutely. And that's the main thing, is the budget part, because when people come with a big budget, I will tell them to go with the florist. Why? Because the florists have a different setting. They go to the place, they set up the flowers for you, they make it look, all these arrangements the way you want it. With smaller places, yes, it's within budget, but I'm the one in charge of making the arrangement. I'm the one in charge of taking it or delivering the flowers and setting them up. So a florist have more knowledge in that area than I do. I know about flowers, but I'm not a florist.
Right.
So for people that have a high budget, I would recommend a florist, definitely. But for people that have a small budget, I think going with a place that, hey, you can afford all these beautiful arrangements, it just have to be somebody else setting it up, that works best for them.
But I think that you just touched on a really important aspect of why it's important, not just to have a coordinator or a day of or a planner, but it's your expertise.
Exactly.
That is the biggest asset I see for anybody in our industry. It's our expertise.
Yes.
It's all right, this venue. You've talked to your client, the budget. You see the vision, but then you have in your back pocket a wealth of knowledge and contacts that you can bring to them. So whether you're referring a florist or a caterer or even somebody to come do their hair and their makeup, those people that you've worked with. So in your field, you see all the dynamics, and then you get to help piece it together. And that right there is such a special skill set that, I'm into operations. I run the ops for us. and my mind works in those puzzles. And you get to do that all day long and to take the stress out for these couples.
Yes.
Or for a quinceañera or baby shower or whatever the event is.
Yeah, it's just giving the opportunity to relax and enjoy their day, and whatever is it that is going on, either be a wedding or a quinceañera or whatever is going on, they don't have to worry about, hey, did we pay this guy? Hey, did we pay this vendor? Hey, where is this? Where is that? That's what I'm there for. I'm there for taking their place while the event is going on, so they don't get bothered with all these questions or all these needs. It's just me taking care of everything. So I think that having a planner or a coordinator, even if it's a day off, is really good for the bride from the standpoint that she won't stress out about stuff, and it's her day, and the other people, they should enjoy it. They shouldn't have to be worried or running around looking for stuff. They just have to be relaxed
and let their family enjoy it too.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I do see sometimes where they try to put a best friend or a cousin or somebody point as the pseudo coordinator, if you will, for an event, and at the end of the day, they want to participate in the event.
Yes, exactly. And I also notice, people forget the timeline is so important. because when you get a venue, you have until X hour to get out. And you have a couple of hours to set up, couple of hours to clean up. And even if they put away the tables and the stuff, you need to pick up your linens. You have to pick up anything that was left behind from the event. So yeah, you need to be able to have someone take care of those things and the timeline. So family will give other families opportunity, and at the end of the day, you will go past your hours, end up paying more, because once you go past your hours, you have to pay the venue for that extra time that they have to stay there, for that extra time that the building has to be open. So it's better to have a person that will tell you, hey, it's time for this, or it's time for you to go and dance, it's time for dinner to be served, it's time for the final dance, the last song, and for the exit. And then that way you can control how everything goes during the whole event. There's no surprises, everything is taken care of, and at the end of the day you still have time to clean up and go home and don't have to worry about, hey, you owe $500 to this venue because you went over your hours.
True.
And it happens because when you're having fun and you're being entertained, you lose track of time. You don't realize how late it is. And talking to people like we're talking right now, I don't even know how long we've been talking.
It's easy when you're having fun to kind of lose track of time.
Exactly.
And then when you're celebrating and you're in that moment.
Exactly.
But then another part of staying on time is you keep the other vendors on time, so you let us know, hey, we're 5 minutes ahead for I need you to play 15 more minutes. We work together.
Mm-hmm.
That thumbs up, the add 5, we got you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So what is the easiest way for you to communicate with clients? Do you prefer for them to contact you on social media, or is it by phone, email?
I prefer by phone. I would like to talk to them first. If they're shy and want to text me, that's fine with me too. But even though I have the email and I have the social media, if I'm busy, I'm not in those sites all the time. My phone is with me all the time. So there's a phone call, I will get back with the person as soon as possible. There's a text, I will see it right away. So those two are the most important for me to get contact by. Usually the first thing I would like to know when a client contact me, and this is very important, I need to know when the event is going to be, because I cannot tell you, hey, I'm going to be available if I don't know when it's going to be. Second, I need to know how many guests, because the amount of guests decide how much the budget has to be for the event and how much the charges are. And also I need to know how high or low the budget is, because based on that I can give you advice. Hey, if your budget is, let's say, $10,000, I can tell you, where do you want to put the most amount of money? Do you want to put it on decor? Do you want to put it on flowers? Do you want to make sure all the brides get gifts? Bridesmaids get gifts. It's just so many ways the budget can go. And if it's a small budget, then I try to give you advice on what to get and not to get.
Right.
So.
And that's something that comes up very frequently. Budget.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really great that you can take and help guide them on that, including with the gifts, because that is a question that I see frequently, even on social media, on the bride sites, and they're how did you get the gifts and what did you get to stay within budget friendly, where you've seen so many different questions and different events. You've got ideas that maybe I wouldn't think of to share with somebody because you've seen it. And so that wealth of knowledge is just priceless.
And when I work with every budget, usually for me, if I get a bride and she tells me, hey, my wedding is going to be in a year, I usually split the payments, because I know that things can change in a year, and maybe she has to move the date, or maybe something happened. So I try to split the payments within, it's like the down payment, then 6 months later, and then the month before the event. And I try to work with every budget. I know people don't have like $5,000 or $2,000, laying around on a counter waiting for somebody to get them. So I try to work with every budget in that area. I know not everybody can come up with all the money at once. So that's what I usually do, a deposit. And then after the deposit, it's more payments. I try to work with each client based on the needs, pretty much. So yeah, that's that about it.
We try to be very friendly with that as well. Well, it was great talking with you today.
You too. Thank you.
You are so welcome, but really, truly, thank you. And we're looking forward to working with you this month on our joint client.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the timeline that you shared with us even a month ago. So, I mean, that is an added bonus and benefit absolutely to your service, because often I see the timelines come through a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before. That might be the latest I've seen. It's about 3 weeks. But yours, we already had it, so could start planning.
Good. I'm
Love
glad.
it. Highly recommend that. You need a day of coordinator, you need a wedding planner, you need help decorating. She is the person that you need to talk to. She's in Georgetown. She's local. If you need her information,
I'm also bilingual.
Absolutely.
Spanish.
And you can always hit me up too, and I will be glad to give you Leslie's phone number.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.